Housing inventory is exploding. Buyers are frozen, and we haven't seen numbers like this since 2019. Today, I'm breaking down the shocking new Redfin data that has everybody talking. 5 months of housing supply on the market, nearly 60 days to sell a home now. What's really going on here? And stay with me because I'm not only diving into these game-changing numbers, I'm going to highlight your comments you've left on my channel and analyze the specific markets you've been asking for. The housing market is not just changing in 2025, it's completely transforming in front of our eyes. So let's break down what these numbers mean for you. Hey, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jason Ferrier. I've been a realtor and investor in Central Ohio for the last 7 years. I appreciate you joining us today on this Redfin update. Let's go ahead and get started now. Also, remember, subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it, and I would love your comment. I want to know what you think about this data, what's happening in your local housing market. Let us know. All right, the name of this article, which is linked in the description below, is Housing Supply is Piling Up as home sellers enter the market, but buyers stay on the sidelines. New listings are up 7.4% from a year earlier, while pending sales are down 6%. Sales are slow mostly because of high home prices and mortgage rates. What happens when new listings are up and pending sales are down? You get more inventory. Generally speaking, you'd think you get lower prices. I thought this part of the article was very interesting. In Washington, D.C. and other places with a high concentration of government workers, Redfin agents report some buyers and sellers are changing plans due to uncertainty about their jobs. Are you seeing homes sit longer in your market, or are they flying off the shelf? Are you seeing price reductions? Tell us what's happening in your metro area, in your neighborhood. There are 5 months of for sale supply on the market nationwide, up from 4.4 months a year earlier, and that's the most since early 2019. Inventory is piling up because more sellers are listing their homes while fewer buyers are waiting into the market. No kidding. New listings rose 7.4% year over year during the 4 weeks ending February 9th, hitting their highest level for any comparable time period since 2022. Just after this time in 2022, mortgage rates started to rise quickly, encouraging many homeowners to stay put to hold on to low rates. Now that lock-in effect is starting to ease. So this next part that I highlighted is super crazy. Pending home sales fell 6%. That's similar to the declines we've seen since the start of the year. They're right. Pending sales continue to be very, very sluggish. Really horrible if you really look at historical averages. Then they say the typical home that sold in that period took 57 days to go under contract, the longest span since March of 2020. Here in Columbus, I'm seeing a similar trend. Homes are taking a lot longer to sell. A quick interruption to this video to remind you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Listen to this next paragraph from a Redfin agent in Las Vegas. Tell me what you think about it. This agent says, I've met with a lot of potential sellers over the last few weeks. Listings typically pick up in March or April, but this year it's happening earlier, said Fernanda Creasy, a Redfin premier agent in Las Vegas. Some of these sellers are listing because they bought just a few years ago and their home value isn't increasing as quickly as they'd like. So they're cutting their losses and moving to a less expensive home. Pay attention to this part. They're cutting their losses. It would seem to me that means they're actually selling for less than they bought it for, pulling the ripcord and bailing out and going, this thing's going to be a complete money trap. I'm out of here. I'm going to move into a condo, maybe rent an apartment. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but that part was pretty surprising. Tell me what you think. So we've heard all these stories about people being forced back into the office who used to work remotely. And this kind of tells us that is happening and how it's affecting real estate. So check this out. Redfin agents in Washington, D.C. and other places with a high concentration of government workers report that the new presidential administration is impacting local housing markets. Return to the office mandates for federal workers and uncertainty about whether certain government employees will keep their job are motivating some people to buy new homes, but discouraging others from buying or selling. And listen to this comment from another Redfin agent. I recently worked with a couple who bought their dream home with me a few years ago, but now they're considering listing because they want to be closer to public transportation. They both work for the government and want a more convenient commute because they'll need to return to in-person work soon. Yikes. Another agent, this one out of Kansas City, Missouri, says, Since the inauguration, I've met with a few people, including one federal government employee who will be selling specifically because of anticipated return to office orders. I also spoke to a client who was looking to sell and upgrade to a larger home, but he canceled those plans because he's worried about losing his job due to restructuring of government jobs. Do you think the change to office work from remote work is going to continue to impact the housing market? Are you seeing that locally in your area? Do you know people who work for the government who are like, man, the road here does not look too smooth. I think I need to change my real estate plans. Comment, let us know. All right, so now we're going to dive into the indicators of home buying demand and activity. Daily average 30-year fixed mortgage rate, 7.13% as of February 12th. That's up from 6.99% a week earlier to the highest level in a month, up from 6.9% a year earlier. Yeah, I'm seeing mortgage rates just stick and they're completely stubborn. They're not moving off that low 7% range. A lot of people thought we'd be under 6% this year. This next section is a good indicator of buying demand because it's how many people are actually applying for mortgages. So mortgage purchase applications down 2% from a week earlier, but up 2% from a year earlier. So basically flat, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Not a whole lot of buying demand out there in the market, folks. I highlighted this stat. This is the touring activity. How many people are out there seeing homes? Up 13% from the start of the year. But last year, it was up 17% at this time of the year. Why they don't say it's down 4% year over year, I don't know. Is that you? Are you like, nah, I'm still on the sidelines. I'm going to buy in a couple years? Or are you out there actually looking at houses and you're like, man, there's a lot of deals out here. I'm going to keep looking until I find an awesome deal. Let us know. All right, so now we're going to do actual prices and inventory metrics for the U.S. overall. Remember, this is the top 400 housing markets. Not every housing market. They're using the top 400 metros. And so first off, median sale price. You can see that right here, $375,750, up 4.3% year over. All right, now median asking price, $409,563. So the median asking price is stubborn, just like the median sale price is. It's going to be really interesting in 2025 to see where these numbers go. All right, now pending sales. How many homes are actually going into contract? 70,000 homes basically went into contract in the 4 weeks that they measured. That's down 6%. Yeah, 6%. And then look at this. New listings, 78,828. That's up 7.4%. So this is what you want to see if you need or you're hoping, wishing, wanting, praying for some type of housing market crash, like many people are. Comment below, by the way, are you praying for a housing market crash? Is that one of the prayers you say before you go to bed at night? Seems like many people are, even if they're not going to buy a house, they just want to see carnage. But pending sales being that much lower than new listings is going to drive more inventory. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not at like levels of carnage yet, but we're definitely different than what we've seen over the last few years. So really, I guess in this situation, you're adding about 8,000 new listings or 8,000 homes to the market, because if you take 70 from 78, you get about 8,000. So active listings, that's the next stat. 902,657. That's up 11% from last year. It does say it's the smallest increase in nearly a year, though. So even though active listings are building, they're not building at a rapid rate. Back in 2008, during the GFC, we had nearly 4 million homes for sale. 4 million. Now we've got 902,000. So to get to GFC levels of carnage, we're going to need like cataclysmic increases in new listings, and we're going to need to see buyer demand remain in the gutter. Next stat that pops out to me, it's something you should watch for in your local housing market, is median days on market. It's now 57 days. That's up 7 days year over year, and it's the longest span since March of 2020. You have to go all the way back to 2020 for homes to take this long to actually go into contract. This is not closing. Closing could take another 30 days sometimes. So if you're a seller, wake up to this, because that basically is 90 days to get the house closed. 90 days now from the time it hits the market to the time it ends up closing and you get paid. 90 days. So it's not 20 days anymore, 30 days, nut. Okay, now we're going to visualize some of the data we just reviewed. We got median sale price up 4.3% year over year, but you can see it's going sideways, obviously, but it's starting to creep down. Like, unless it really picks up, you're going to see that number drop below 2024. A lot of people thought we would crash the last 3 years. We haven't yet. Maybe this is their year to get lucky. Median asking price. How much are people asking for homes? $409,000, up 5.4% year over year. It could be more expensive homes hitting the market. But like here in Columbus, I'm actually seeing less expensive homes hit the market. By the way, those don't seem to be selling either all of a sudden. The average housing payment, $2,753 at a 6.89% rate. It's up 6.4% year over year. Housing payments have seemed to just put everybody on the sidelines who is a normal buyer because they're completely unaffordable. And people are like, you know what? No thanks. I'm going to wait. Here's pending sales. They're down 6% year over year in the US. And I had somebody on my Facebook page comment and tell me, I had a real estate photographer comment today on my Facebook page and tell me it's the slowest winter that they've seen ever. Like right now is the slowest period they've ever gone through as a photographer in real estate. And they make their money on transactions, meaning there's not people listing their homes for sale. Certainly not going to need a photographer to take pictures of a home they're not going to list. So that's a great canary in the coal mine, if you will, of what's really going on out there with listings. And if you're an agent, if you're a mortgage professional, if you're a title agency, you got to be feeling the crunch, down 6%, unreal. Active listings of homes for sale, up 11% year over year. We're not over 1 million units listed, but we're certainly have more than we did last year. And if that new listing number continues to grow and that pending sales stays in the toilet, you're going to see more and more active listings. And there's 5 months of supply available on the market. Again, that's the most since 2019. So here's days on market. This is how long homes are actually taking to go into contract. And you can see 57 days. It's the highest in 4 years. Homes are just taking longer and longer to sell. Again, tell us, are you seeing homes sit longer in your market? All right, now I'm going to highlight some of the comments you guys have made on my channel because I think they give us a picture of what's happening at a local level. So this comment is from MAGA Blessings. They left it a couple days ago, actually 1 day ago, and they're from Salt Lake. They say, in Salt Lake City, I've been watching homes for the last 7 to 12 months. They stay on the market for a long period of time, up to 50 days. Then they pull them out of the market. Prices here are way overpriced. I'm sure they are. I know Salt Lake's an expensive area, but this could be what they're seeing here is wish pricing. And wish pricing could explain why that median asking price we've been looking at in the Redfin data is so high and continues to go up because like they put these expensive homes on the market wishing and hoping that they'll sell. They don't sell. And so they take them off the market. I've seen it a lot here in central Ohio where sellers are like, I don't need to sell. I want to sell. So I'm going to put something on the market here. If I don't get any hits, if nobody gives me my asking price, I'm just going to take it off the market and try again next year. I call that wish price. All right, let's look at another viewer comment. This one's from New York City, 1-800-Kleinfeld. They say, New York City here, outer boroughs, I'm still thriving. They're actually an agent or a broker, I believe. I lost a listing yesterday because my client was not granted a relocation to North Carolina with USPS. So I lost that $900,000 listing. But otherwise, things are moving along. I'm seeing a tightening on lending restrictions. They are really clamping down on requirements. Rentals are up. So it sounds like in New York City, this agent's actually active. Things are moving along well. And they actually do mention, though, tightening on lending restrictions. So maybe less of his clients are actually getting approved for homes. But in any case, I thought this was interesting. Like, hey, is New York City crashing? Well, this agent's actually closing deals, it sounds like. And they actually commented after that and said they had closed a good amount of deals last year and they are busy. So congrats to Kleinfeld. My next comment is from Squat Freak 1184. They're in Florida and they say Florida market here. Anyone who bought after 2022 can't sell. Tons of inventory, builders offering 10% in incentives and still have extremely low sales volume. Builders are selling off their lots and pulling out of neighborhoods. Tons of resales to choose from, price drops on almost every listing. Some listings have been on the market for a year. The new listings is fairly fresh in the last 4 months, so pricing is just now starting to adjust. It sounds like a lot of inventory building in Florida. They didn't say exactly what Florida market they're in, but everybody's been predicting Florida's going to crash. According to Squat Freak, looks like there's a lot of inventory setting people up for lower prices. Looks like new builders are giving big incentives. That's predictable, and I would expect that to continue if new construction continues to ramp up in Florida. Now it's time for us to analyze markets that you requested in the comments. By the way, if you have a metro you want me to analyze on a future Redfin video, drop it in the comments below and I'm happy to do it. So the first one we always do is Columbus, and we run through the Ohio market real quick. And I always get requests for the Ohio market. New listings in the C-Bus area up 5.5% year over year. I am seeing more inventory. There's no doubt about it. I'm actually seeing a lot more homes listed under 300 grand, under the median. Haven't seen that in a few years. More new listings. That's good for home buyers, certainly, as long as there are home buyers, right? Okay, active listings now in Columbus. That's up 12% year over year, definitely starting to increase because we're adding more new listings. And all right, so now how are pending sales doing in Columbus? Homes going into contract down 0.8%. So in Columbus, pending sales haven't fallen off a cliff. They're certainly not down like they are nationally. My guess is as we add more supply, more affordable inventory, we're going to certainly see more buyers jump on that inventory because we haven't had affordable inventory here in a while. So could be a good sign for buyers in the Buckeye State. All right, now we're going to do median days on market in Columbus. Look at this. I mean, look at it shoot up. Wow. In Columbus, Ohio, it takes now 61 days to go into contract. This isn't to close. This is to go into contract. And I checked the metric actually in the definitions for Redfin, and they confirm in their definition, this is how long it takes to actually go into contract. And little did I know, they exclude properties that have been on the market more than a year. And so if you add in 30 days to close, you're near 90 days now to put your house on the market and actually get paid as a seller. That has gone up a lot. You can see that it's way over a 4-year high. Okay, now we're jumping into Cleveland, Ohio, and then I'll do Cincinnati. Then we'll go to the other markets that people requested. So Cleveland, Ohio, new listings down 0.4%. That's definitely different than the other metros and nationally where we're up significantly in new listings. But Cleveland, no new listings hardly at all. So active listings for Cleveland, Ohio. Look at this, down 4.79%. What? So if you're in Cleveland, you've got less homes to choose from than you did last year. Completely different than most other markets in the U.S. that we're seeing. Pending sales in Cleveland, Ohio, that's down 10%. So people aren't buying. They're not selling. They're just sitting out on both sides. Look at this median days on market in Cleveland. It's going straight up now, 41.7 days. It's only up 1 day year over year, but it's definitely heading up. Not surprised. Pending sales are horrible. No new listings. The market's just stale and flat. Median sale price in Cleveland, Ohio, 8% up year over year, now $204,000. Last year, they hit a peak at $247,000. That was an all-time high and ended the year at $229,000. But now $204,000. Our last stop in Ohio is Cincinnati, up 0.4% year over year in new listings. So barely more new listings than last year. So Columbus definitely has the highest growth in new listings of all the Ohio cities. And then let's do active listings. Okay, now active listings in Cincinnati up 36% year over year. You definitely have more active listings, but new listings aren't hitting the market. Let's find out what pending sales are doing. Down 3.4% year over year. So even though new listings are down, pending sales are down too. Again, just like Cleveland, like a complete stagnant, frozen market. All right, how long is it taking a house to sell in Cincinnati? Well, median days on market, 54 days. That's up. Are you ready for this? 32 days year over year. So it takes 32 days longer now to put a house in contract in Cincinnati compared to last year. What? Yeah, unreal. So really slow. All right, median sale price in Cincinnati up 11% year over year to $288,000. Last year they peaked at 307 grand in Cincinnati and then ended the year at $285,000, up 10% year over year. So it looks like it's going up. It's difficult to have price discovery when your new listings are actually down year over year. So the prices could remain stubborn and sticky in a place like Cincinnati. Homes, the ones that are on the market, could just take longer to sell. It doesn't mean a crash is coming. It just means it's taking longer to sell. Haven't seen a whole lot of price carnage yet in Ohio from the slow market, but we may. All right, I had somebody ask me for Des Moines, Iowa, so we're going to do that next. So I got new listings in Des Moines, Iowa, up 17% year over year. A lot more new listings. Look at that. Wow. Active listings in Des Moines, Iowa, up 15% year over year. Okay. All right. Now we got pending sales in Des Moines year over year down 7.2%. You kind of have that recipe for more inventory growth, right? You've got lower demand, higher new listings hitting the market. So that active inventory should continue to grow. And it could be a good thing for the spring home buying season if there's more opportunities out there for buyers to actually buy an affordable home. Look at median days on market, up 7 days year over year. Now 48 days to go into contract in Des Moines, Iowa. So yeah, that's interesting. It's starting to go down, but it's definitely higher overall this year. It's higher than it was last year. Okay, median sale price in Des Moines, Iowa. Look at that, $291,000. That's up 9% year over year. In Des Moines last year, you peaked at 311 grand. That was an all-time high, it looked like. And then you ended the year in Des Moines at $293,000, up 6%. And then this year, you're up 9%, 291 grand again. So if we add more inventory to the market, more buyers are out there. I mean, let's face it, that's really an affordable market, just like Ohio is. You're way under the national median. So will prices come down a ton? I don't know. You need a ton of supply in order to probably drive prices down too much, but they may level off and not go up crazy like they did last year. Next market someone asked me for is Denver, Colorado. So active listings in Denver, Colorado up 28.63%. More active listings, more stuff to choose from. That's probably a good thing if you're there and you're wanting to buy. All right, pending sales in Denver. How's that doing? Look at that, down 10% year over year. It's a 4-year low, it looks like right now. So homes aren't selling. People are listing more and inventory is growing in Denver, Colorado. How are median days on market? 53 days. That's up 10 days year over year in Denver. It's taking 10 days longer than last year to sell a home in Denver, Colorado, all pointing to slower market with more listings. Now we do median sale price in Denver. What's that looking like? $572,000. I can't believe how expensive Denver is. That's up only 1% year over year. Now look at this, folks. Different than what we saw with some of those other markets so far in like the Midwest. They actually peaked in 2022 at 617 grand. And then last year, they peaked last year. I guess the peak was here last year at 603 grand, but still down compared to 2022 when they peaked. And they ended last year at $574,000. And now this year, 2025, they started the year at 566 grand. Now at 572. So look at the difference between right now and the peak in Denver was 617 grand a couple years ago. And now their median price, 572 grand. That's a pretty big difference, right? What's that? 30, 40, $45,000, let's call it rough math. So certainly if you bought back in the height of 2022, you're definitely down in your investment. No doubt about it. Wilmington, North Carolina is next, and new listings show us 4.8% growth year over year. More new listings. All right. Active listings in Wilmington, North Carolina. You've got 3.43% more active listings. I mean, this is a crazy chart because they started 2022 at 1,500 active listings. Right now, you've got 1,297. So you've got less than 2022, the height of 2022, but you definitely have more than 2024. And it looks like that is starting to go up. Yeah, so more active listings. Pending sales, look at that. Down 14, call it 15% in Wilmington, North Carolina. I want to talk about a slow market. Geez, down 15%. So median days on market in Wilmington, look at this, down 1 day about in Wilmington. So it's taking a little less time to sell a house than it did last year. It's at 35 days, a lot different than some of these other areas we've been looking at. And so they could be, as active inventory hits the market, there may be buyers out there that are like, hey, I've been waiting for more inventory. I have some negotiating power now. And so houses, the ones that are out there, are actually maybe selling quicker. It is possible. But if you ask for Wilmington or any of these metros, and as I go through this, I'd love to know what's really happening. So as I mentioned these stats, tell me, is this what you're actually seeing in your market, or are these stats wrong and you're seeing something completely different? All right, now median sale price in Wilmington, look at that, going down. It was at 451 grand. That's expensive there. Last year, they peaked at the end of the year. Look at this. Last year was an all-time high. It looks like 484,000 in December. That's up 9% year over year. It just went up all year. And now it started the year at 474 grand and now 451,000. All right. Somebody asked me for Ventura County, California. Now over here on the right-hand side, this is a tip for you that you can use to look at your local market or any market anytime you want. You can look at the county level data from Redfin. and you can see my cursor over here to the right, or you can look at the metro data, either one. But this time somebody asked me for Ventura County, California. So that's what I'm pulling up. New listings actually up 19% year over year. Wow. A lot more new listings. They're still down compared to 2022. That's kind of crazy, but not a 4-year high, but it's definitely higher than last year. Now let's look at active listings and see how that's doing. So active listings in Ventura County up 27% year over year. A lot more active listings. You have a 4-year high there in inventory, it looks like. Median days on market for Ventura County. How long is it taking to sell a home? That's coming down, but it's still up from last year, up 5 days from 2024. 51 days, median days on market. So it's taking 5 days longer to sell a home than it did this time last year. Median sale price, $849,000, down 1% year over year in Ventura County. It actually started the year $824,000. And it looks like last year they hit their peak in the summer, $898,000, call it $900,000. Who's counting at that point? That's up 6% back in the peak of last year. They ended the year though, $827,000. And so right now they are going up, but they're still down slightly from last year. So it doesn't look like prices have got the memo that inventory is growing. But if inventory continues to grow, you'd think at some point prices will start to come down in Ventura County. I don't know if you asked for Ventura, comment, let me know. Is that what you're seeing? Prices like this, inventory like I just showed. All right, next stop is Las Vegas. That same person asked me for Las Vegas. So new listings in Vegas up 12% year over year, not a 4-year high, but more than last year. Active listings in Las Vegas, again, not a 4-year high, but up 26% compared to last year. Actually, their 4-year high this time of the year was back in 2023 when they had 9,000 listings. Now they have 8,800 listings. So pending sales in Vegas, let's see, down 11%. A lot of these metros, virtually all of them we looked at today, right? All are sluggish with pending sales, and they all pretty much, except a couple of them, have more new listings than last year. And so active inventory is definitely building. What is happening? Median days on market in Vegas, 58.6 days. That's up 7 days year over year. So it takes 7 days longer to sell a home this year. And then you can see it's not a 4-year high. Back in 2023, that number was 79 days, 80 days, call it, which was up 52 days year over year. So 2023, like at the beginning, it was taking forever to sell a home in Vegas. I wonder why that was. So I don't know. If you ask for Vegas, comment below and tell me, is this what you're seeing? I was out there, I don't know, like 7 months ago, and it seemed like there were just loads of new construction. And when you drive out the desert, it's just tons of just developments and new construction. So, and a lot of good incentives, it seemed like. So new homes could be the way to go out in Vegas. I don't know. I don't live there, obviously. I don't really know the market, but that's what I saw when I was out there. Median sale price in Vegas. I always like to look at this in Vegas, kind of find out what these big housing markets are doing. $439,000, up 4% year over year. It's kind of trending sideways, maybe a little up. Last year, they peaked last year at 453, but they hit their all-time peak, it looks like in 2022 in May, June, $456,000. And they actually held kind of steady most of last year, ended at $442,000. Now $439,000 for the median sale price in Las Vegas, Nevada. Our next stop on the tour is San Bernardino County, California. I had somebody ask me for the Inland Empire, and the Inland Empire basically is San Bernardino County and Riverside County. And so new listings in San Bernardino up 14%. If you round up year over year, so definitely more new listings. We're seeing more new listings in about all these areas, aren't we? Active listings is a 4-year high, up 22%. San Bernardino, Riverside County, those areas got demolished in 2008 and through 2012. Had major price declines in those areas. So yeah, you've got more active listings. There's no doubt about it. Let's look at pending sales in San Bernardino County. Pending sales, 392, down 4%. It's a 4-year low for pending sales. And now median days on market, how long is it taking to sell a home in San Bernardino County? Up 12 days compared to last year. So 12 days longer than last year to sell a house. Not a 4-year high, but it's definitely taking longer than last year to sell a home there. Median sale price in San Bernardino County, look at this, $549,000, up 10% year over year. You peaked last year, it looks like, at 561, and you ended last year at $541,000, up 8%. And this year actually started up 9%, $547,000. Prices there are relentless, it looks like. Geez. So the second part of the Inland Empire is Riverside County. New listings there in Riverside up 8.7% year over year. Again, we're seeing just more and more new listings, which is good if you're hoping for prices to come down. Active listings. Look at active listings go up in Riverside. Riverside, again, got demolished like San Bernardino County did as well in 2008. I actually used to live out there in Orange County during the GFC. I didn't own a home, thank goodness. But a lot of my friends bought homes in Riverside County and in the Inland Empire, and they got creamed when the market dropped through the bottom. I mean, they got destroyed. But active listings right now in Riverside up 26% year over year, and it looks like it's continuing to go up. Pending sales, how are those doing? Wow, look at that. We found a place where pending sales are actually higher than last year, up 1.3% year over year. So how long are homes taking to sell in Riverside County? Looks like 62 days, 10 days longer than last year. Median sale price in Riverside, $608,000, up 4% year over year. Last year, they peaked, it looks like, at $622,000. And ended the year at $612,000. Started 2025 at $605,000. Now $608,000. So prices haven't got the memo yet that, hey, we're getting more inventory. Place like Riverside will be really interesting to see what happens. We're in California. Now we're going all the way out to Virginia. Lynchburg, Virginia was requested. New listings are up 4.2%. So more new listings like all the other areas, it seems like. Active listings in Lynchburg, Virginia, up 31% year over year. That's a 4-year high. So a lot more active inventory. Pending sales, look at that, down 23%. Holy cow. So sales have dropped off the map there. Like that's down a ton. Maybe the biggest drop we've seen today in our analysis. How long are homes taking to sell in Lynchburg? 23.6 days. I guess they moved there pretty quick. That's up 3.4 days, though, year over year. Look at back in 2022, it was 59 days. Yikes. Man, this data is all over the place. But in any case, it's definitely taking longer to sell a home in Lynchburg, but not by a ton compared to last year. But they are moving fast, it looks like. If you're the one that asked for Lynchburg, let me know. Is that what you're seeing? Are homes moving that fast? And look at this for median sale price in Lynchburg. 0% growth, $229,000. That's not too bad for a home, way under the median. Kind of like Ohio, I guess. But it's definitely going straight down. Like you're under 2024, or I guess it's 0%. So you're right there, but it looks like you're headed down, straight down. Last year, you were at $286,000 for the peak, it looks like. Ended the year last year at $262,000, up 14% year over year. And you started this year at $274,000, up 12%. So we started the year strong in prices, but now you're headed down. Good if you're looking to buy. If you're looking to sell, definitely price your home correctly. Hey, so the market's clearly changing. You can see that in the data plain as day. So if you're a buyer out there looking for a house, an investment property, whatever, take your time, hunt for opportunities where homes have been sitting longer than normal, and dial in how many new listings you've seen in your market, how many active listings, how long they're taking to sell. That can kind of give you an idea of how hot or how cold the market is. If it's cold, and you're seeing more active listings, you can certainly take your time and make lower offers. Make what I would call a disrespectful offer. If you're a seller, whatever you're going to do, build in the correct expectation. It could take longer to sell your home, and certainly make sure you price your home correctly. Don't overprice it or it'll just sit on the market. Probably in most of these areas, that's what we're seeing. So it's not always a great idea to sell your home. When should you not sell your home and consider keeping it? Well, I made a video about that, and you can check it out right here.